What is going down, my YouTube family? It is your boy Xery from the XMG, and we are back today with another worst to first series. And today we are going to talk about the bounty hunters. I put up a poll. Thank you for all that voted. The bounty hunters came in at 35%. Pretty crazy. So we are going to do that. We're going to go and rank the bounty hunters worst to first. Let's get into it. All right, we have 10 bounty hunters, so we're starting with number 10, and it should be no surprise here that it's Voiran the Trickster. Voiran the Trickster is one of the worst characters in the game, in my opinion. He is unbelievably squishy. He just dies so fast, and his move kit just doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. So, just quickly go over it. He applies a poison, has a 30% chance to apply 2 stacks instead. Why is, you get that maxed out, it should at least be 75, 80%. Then, piercing poison deals 320 to piercing damage, removes 3 stacks of poison from the enemy, dealing 100% piercing damage for each stack removed. Okay, that move I get. It makes sense, but you're so reliant on poisons. Why are we removing them? It just should be, you should be doing it if they're there. Would really make them a lot better. 360 physical damage, 420 if the damage by poison, if they have poisoned, and then it implies poison for 3 turns. And then his basic has an 80% chance to apply poison for 1 turn, or 2 turns, I'm sorry. It should be 100% to land that poison on his basic. Would really make him a lot better, because he's so heavily reliant on potency. And then take a look at this. 0. He has 0 potency, so why are we constantly have to go through double potency tenacity checks with this guy? Voiran the Trickster. My number 10 bounty hunter. My number 9 bounty hunter is Sharp. And 8 and 9 were a toss-up for me, but Sharp. Sharp can do some things. He's not a terrible character. He's not Voiran the Trickster level at all, okay? But his passive ability increases his crit chance by 30%. That's amazing. Grants a crit chance and applies it to all allies for 2 turns, and then Sharp gets crit damage. Awesome. He has attacks an enemy 3 times, right? Deals 150% of physical damage each time. Very low. And then blocks deals 250 and has a 50% chance for an armor decrease. Ugh. We need crits. He can be good for that elf team, but there's some problems when it comes to his stats, and let's take a look. Physical damage is extremely low to start with Sharp for a damage dealer. You're at like 3,100, and it's just not very good. And he's gear 11 plus, so at gear 11 he's underneath 3k. His crit chance is actually really good, and then he's going to give himself another 30%. But look at his health and shield combination. Terrible. Not 40k. He dies so fast. He just, his speed is so god-awful low. You're torn between having him go fast and getting out that debuff, or having him do the damage. Sharp is just, he's a starter character. That's what he's made for. That's why he's my number 9 bounty hunter. My number 8 bounty hunter is Venomate. Venomate, he can do some things, but again, very heavily reliant on poison. Deals 20% more damage for each stack of poison on the enemies. If Kyra is on the battlefield, she receives the same buff. That is a great, great passive. But he falls short on a lot of demon teams. Kyra is a bounty hunter as well. So if you're making a bounty hunter team, it's there, but applies a crit damage increase, a haste, and a crit chance increase to 2 ally for 2 turns. Then restores 75% of their turn meter. Again, you're probably going to put that on Kyra. Then he deals 230 magic damage to all enemies and poisons the target for 2 turns. Kind of a lower AoE damage. Deals 250 magic damage, has an 80% chance of putting on poison. If Kyra is on the battlefield, there's a 50% chance she may be called in to assist. Why 80%? That drives me insane when they do that. He's more of like a support character than a damage dealer. Now with his rework, you know, looking over his stats here, look at his magic damage. Gear 11 plus and ruined with 3-dot blues, his magic damage is only 31. So he's not there to do damage now. He's there for the passive abilities, and he's really only giving them to Kyra. So he falls short for me in that aspect. His health and shield combination, gear 11 plus. 1900 shield. Wow. And then speed. He's very, very slow for a support character. That's where I'm classifying him now. And his potency is 20%. So there's a lot to be desired with him, and he's only a real support character for Kyra. That's why Venomate is number 8. He provides a little bit more than Sharp because Kyra is extremely good. So, and he can make her even better. So that kind of gives me the edge there. Number 7 for me is Amara. Now, Amara can do some things and she can put out some damage. But if you're building like a bounty hunter team for challenges, or you need a bounty hunter to put into your team, she's essentially not going to be it. Number 1, she's a harder farm. So it's going to take you time to build her up, right? Passive ability, she pairs with Thanisa. Okay, so Thanisa's not a bounty hunter. It's not going to really help you out. You gain 5% turn meter for each stack or poison. Or burning or poison, I'm sorry. And that's kind of nice because if you put Venomate in there, it could help you out. But like I said, a lot of people aren't going to have her ready to go. But not more than 75% turn meter, right? So you're not getting like an instant turn. It's okay. Deals 340 magic damage, plus an extra 60% of magic damage for each stack of burning and poison. That can put a wallop out there. She is a damage dealer by far. Deals 230 magic damage to all enemies and inflicts burning for 2 turns. 190 on a basic with a 50% chance to deal damage to an additional target. Kind of a basic. Her stats, though. Right? Magic damage is extremely good. She's starting at like 31k, not gear 11 plus, so it's there. Crit chance is low, so that kind of gives you the option there. Health and shield combination is like a little bit over 40k, so it's workable, but she's not like standing out as one of the best. Speed, 140 to start. So you're torn. Do you want her to go often? If you're not pairing her with burning synergy or a poison synergy, that third move is reliant on you constantly going. So do you want her to hit hard? Do you want her to go fast? Amara is an interesting case. She could be better than number 7 in some people's minds. But as far as bounty hunters, I believe there's 6 other choices you'd rather have than Amara. Yeah, 6. I don't even know. Math sucks. Number 6 for me is Adam. Because if you're building a bounty hunter team, he's the only defender. Adam can hold a taunt. Now, it can be dispelled easily. You might not even get it. But if you're building a bounty hunter team, or you're lacking a tank that requires a team that requires a tank or a defender, where you have the bounty hunter tag, he can help you out. So that's why he's number 5, kind of middle of the pack. I believe there's other options better than, or 6, I'm sorry. I believe there's other better options than him out there. But if you're looking for the defender with the bounty hunter tag, he's the only choice we got. He does have a damage decrease on his A1, which is pretty nice. He brings some survivability to the team where he recovers his max shield equal to 40% of his max health. But it's his passive ability where he only gets a 70% chance to gain taunt. If that was 100%, he'd be higher up the list. But I think, he can be maxed out to be super tanky. Put him in some health or some armor, tenacity with some potency. That armor or that damage decrease can come in handy. Adam, number 6. Number 5 is Instructor Gorram, and he's like dead middle of the pack for me. And there's a couple reasons why. If you're building a bounty hunter team, he can bring some things to the table. His basic ability, if you have Adam, you're requiring 2 bounty hunters. You can put Adam, he's going to guarantee that taunt on a critical hit, so that makes a big world of difference to Adam's move kit, right? Then he summons 1 half-pink henchman. That can really help you because those half-pink henchmen, they can daze, they can stun. That can really help you out, get by some of those bounty hunter challenges. And it just makes it more annoying to fight. So his Piggy Cry can be definitely beneficial. Then he can call in all of those half-pig henchmen to assist. Damage really isn't there, but it's just super annoying. And then he increases crit damage by 40%. And 5% for each living half-pig henchman in the party. So you drop those piggies, they can stun, they can daze, they're assisting. He can provide you more than just damage. He does okay damage. It's not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. We take a look at his stats here. And, you know, physical damage, I only brought it up 295. So he's at 3,200. Not gear 11 plus. That's pretty solid. You deck this guy out with crit chance. It's all you put on him. Because you want him to put that taunt back on Adam, right? So 60% of the time, not bad. Health and shield combination is like 45k, so he's pretty survivable. You're looking for health in the secondary stats or in that southwestern rune because that helps those half-pig henchmen stay upright a little bit more. His speed, 135, very, very slow though. Really, really hurts him. But when you're running him under a goblin team, he's assisting all the time. So maybe you put a speed set with crit chance if you're using him for a bounty hunter team, but his speed is very, very slow. Instructor Gorram brings some good things to a bounty hunter team. That's how I have to grade him. Number 5. Number 4, Kyra. Now, the top 4, 3, and 2 could be in any order, and I wouldn't blame you. But her nerf brought her down. Okay? Because now she's only invisibling mages. So that really, really hurts her in the bounty hunter grand scheme of things. But we all know Kyra. She still does devastating damage. Invisibility, Kyra increases damage by 25%, potency by 25%. Venomous is the party, she receives the same buffs. Applies invisibility to all mages and herself for 2 turns. Applies counterattack to all allies defenders for 2 turns. If Venomous is on the battlefield, he receives both of these effects. Restores 25% of turn meter to all allies except defenders. So you're still feeding turn meter, pretty nice, but that survivability factor that she had before she took the nerf is gone. Now she deals 240 magic damage, 30% chance to daze an enemy for 2 turns. Very low, but she has a 50% chance for ability block on her basic, so that is really, really nice. But her potency, as we can see, isn't kind of where you want it to be. Physical damage, 3,300 at gear 11 plus before runes. Health and shield combination, not too shabby at gear 11 plus. We're right around 50k. Potency, she does... I was wrong. She has great potency, so that's going to help you out. And then if she's under invisible, you even get more. Speed, 140. Very still slow. But she is number 4 because of the nerf. If she could put everybody under stealth, that would make a huge difference. But she doesn't. So there we go. Number 3 to me is Count Delman. Count Delman can do some damage. He is tanky and he is a beast. I love Count Delman. Count Delman gains 500 penetration. If the lane is an ally, Count Delman and the lane increase their physical damage by 15%. If Wonder Lua is an ally, Count Delman and Wonder Lua increase their crit chance by 15%. Huge. And all 3 of them are bounty hunters. So, yeah, that's awesome. Then, Count Delman gains a dodge increase for 2 turns and recovers 25% of his turn meter. All allies gain crit damage increase for 2 turns. His Marked Death can really help you out in a bounty hunter challenge. Deals 380 physical damage and inflicts Marked Death, and that allows that person to be taunt. Okay? They gain taunt. The target cannot be invisible, and damage inflicted to that target is increased by 15%. So that can really, really help you out. 270 on a basic with a 70% chance to increase the cooldown of a random ability for 1 turn. I'll take it. He is just amazing. His stats, physical damage, gear 11 plus, 3200. Crit chance is kind of low for an elf, but still, if you have Wonder Lua, you're getting an extra 15% there, so I'm up to about 50%. Health and shield combination, almost 60, over 60k, but that's gear 11 plus, but it's doable. His armor percents are fantastic. His speed is right around 145, so a little bit faster. His potency is good. He just has a lot of good stats. Count Delman, number 3 for me. Could have been number 2, and I won't blame anybody. He's good. Number 2 is Wonder Lua, damage machine, benefits from invisibility. This is why the Kyra nerf hurts so bad for bounty hunters, because putting her under invisible, as we can see, does well more. Increases physical damage by 20%, and then 7% for each living demon in the enemy's party can benefit you. Gains invisibility to her, all healers, tacticians, and fighters for 2 turns. So Wonder Lua is now stepped up and kind of taken over that Kyra role. We're just not putting counter chance on the defenders. Then deals 330 physical damage, or 300 physical damage. Half the damage penetrates their shield. Guaranteed to deal a crit if she's under invisible. Huge. 180 on a basic kind of sucks, but if the target has more health than Lua, this attack deals 225 instead. This attack deals 50% more crit damage. So you put her in a crit chance, crit damage set, get her some speed, get her going early and often, and she just wrecks. Now, like that northwestern rune, you want it to be a shield instead of a health primary. You want her health to try to be as low as you possibly can get it, because that way, if you attack like a defender, they have a chance of having a higher health pool, a boss, things like that. You stock her up on the shield. Looking at her stats, physical damage, just a powerhouse. Crit chance, amazing. You put Count Delman, I'd be up to about almost 70% crit chance. Amazing. Health and shield combination, very good for what we want her to do. And then speed. She's just a beautiful, beautiful character. I really like Wonder Lua, number 2. This should be no shock to anybody. My number 1 bounty hunter is Thelaine. Should not be a shock at all. Thelaine is the best character in the game, in my opinion. She is just absolutely amazing. You're building a bounty hunter team. You put her, Count Delman, Wonder Lua, Sharp together. You almost have a full elf squadron. So super beneficial there. We put her leadership ability, increases critical chance of allied elves by 30%, recovers 15% turn meter when they land a critical hit, and has a 50% chance to restore a random ability. Just amazing. Then debuffing an enemy increases the turn meter by 20%. A lot of debuffs going around. Additional 4% for each debuff Thelaine applies. So feeding herself turn meter. She has the best debuffs in the game. Ability block on an AoE. She has heal block and buff immunity with 440 physical damage. And then on her basic, 250 physical damage. Dazes the enemy for 1 turn. Takes out the Tromgars out of the equation. Buff with the turn meter swaps or a Shadar. The daze on the basic is huge. Thelaine, I mean, her stats, she is gear 11 plus here, but 4k physical damage. Crit chance, I am almost at 100% with her leadership. Just insanity. Health and shield combination, almost 70k. Huge. Armor 40%, 38%. 229 speed, 69 of it for runes, I get it, but still. Potency's 50%. She is very easy to build. You put her in speed and potency. You look for damage. You will not be disappointed in Thelaine. Easy choice for number 1. So there it is, my YouTube family. There is bounty hunters. All 10 of them broke down. I didn't miss anybody. Okay, good. And thank you again to all who voted. I got some big news for the channel coming up pretty soon, so as soon as I get all the kinks worked out, I'll let you know that. And for all my XMG family members out there, you know I love you. Thank you for the support. If you're just finding me for the first time, you're liking what you're seeing, click that subscribe button. Join the XMG family. So that is what I got. I will put up the next poll for what you guys want to see next. So make sure you're voting and keep an eye out for that. I love y'all. See you in the next one. I'm out.